Hey everybody, welcome to the Ridgeway world. I'm Jeff, you're not. Don't change anything on this video. I forgot to turn the mic on, so it's going to be nothing matching up. What today's video is I was putting in a door in the garage, and as you can see from some of these pictures, the rot on the bottom of the door is bad. So what happens is all the varmints in the neighborhood have been getting into the garage, and with the car, with the tractor, anything you put in your garage is going to get mice. And what mice do is they chew wires. So I wanted to make sure I get this door taken care of. And I never realized the whole time I was doing this that I never turned the mic on. But here, right in this picture right here, we got a 36 by 80 inch door. This is the perfect fit for this door. This is what I had in there before. And for reference, always measure your door opening before you put a door in, because there is so many different door sizes, whether it's width or height. And you'll see throughout this video how to anchor it, how to cut it, how to take the old one out. I'll reference a few things in here that would, if we had my voice in here, I was talking about certain things like J-channel, the shims, which I'm going to try to discuss as we go forward. I have all my tools sitting on the truck. This is the old set, the 18-volt DeWalt, and this is when I realized I was having a problem with the batteries, because I kept having to change it out. You won't see that in the video. The white framing that was on the side of the truck was also from the new door that came from the factory with trim on it, but I needed that taken off because I'm going to be putting it in against the white aluminum J-channel that's out on the edge of the garage. But if you look, it's crazy. Why would I let this door get this bad is a question I keep answering myself. But there's that good-looking fella right there, and he has these hinges in his hand, and it makes life a lot easier to take these hinges out when you're putting the door in. And what I did is I was referencing a couple videos we've done over the course of the years in the Psycho series about the infamous hinges. So Terry will be putting...
It's me and Uncle Larry!
What's he doing in there?
Well, I told you, we're going to live stream, playing video games.
We're doing his work.
Could you stop? Just give us... Alright. Stop. Holy sh...
There they are, those infamous hinges who just slid across the old counter of the old kitchen. Yeah, that was very contentious back in the day when we did that video, because when I kicked the door in, there was, it's kind of hard to kick a door in and then not have those hinges in. So we played it off. Jesse figured the best way to do it. So in this one right now, I had a problem with the screws that were put into this door probably 25 or 30 years ago. They were all stripped out, so I had to take this Sawzall and cut all the screws off flush with the timber behind the door. And that's what in the process I'm doing right now is cutting them out. And it's always good to have the right tools. You see that Sawzall is going, it's got a metal blade on it, it's going right through those screws, and it'll pop them right out. Now this video was a heck of a lot longer. I think Terry cut it down. So there goes the framework of the door. So the doorway's out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just brushing off the frame of where the door was. There is no header, which is the top part of the door. In a house, you would probably have header boards under it, but this one doesn't, because there was no need for it. There was no support beam. So what I'm doing, I'm using liquid nails, and I don't know if anybody's ever used liquid nails before as an adhesive and as a caulk per se. I'm putting that at the base of the door where the sill plate will meet the concrete. So I'm putting a few beads and crisscrossing that, so when the door is set on the concrete, it'll make a seal. So I'm trying right now, I'm putting the new door in, and what I want to do is try to lift the base of the door or the sill plate of the door up enough and then slide it over the liquid nails so it basically will adhere to the base of the concrete when the door is slid in. So sometimes it's better to have somebody helping you, but when you're by yourself, yeah. And see, here's another one where I'm trying to get the bottom of the door out onto the liquid nails, so I had to kick it a little bit to get it in. But as you see, the door frame is meeting up with the J-channel, which is the vinyl white around the outside of the door here, which you want. Next, we're going to be going in and putting a 4-foot level on the door frame itself, just on the frame, not on the door, because it really doesn't matter. If you get the frame right, the door will follow. So I'm making sure the door is level in the spot it's in. And again, I got a 36 by 80 and I had a 37.25 opening, so I knew that it was going to fit. I just want to make sure it's level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be pre-drilling a hole in the hinge. They leave one out on the hinge so you can anchor the door. So I'm going to pre-drill it so I don't split anything. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and put a lighter anchor screw in there just to hold the door to the flat side, which is my straight side of the door frame. And that's where I'm going to start to make sure my door is level, and then shim from there around. So once I get this set, you'll see that'll anchor the door to where I need it to work the rest of the way to make sure everything's level. And here it is. These are the shims I'll be using, and they're like a right angle, a very slight right angle piece of wood, and there's a fat end and a skinny end, and you'll make it to try to get them to be, to keep the door to where it is level, so you're going to have gaps in the door. And I think I'll show you. Yeah, see the gap right now? So these shims will go in there, and then what you'll do is you'll get the door level, shim it to where it's tight, and then you'll pre-drill a hole through that, and then you'll anchor your screw in. That'll keep you at full level at all the time. So what happened here is when I was putting my anchor screw in, you'll see the shims fall out. So I didn't put the screw all the way in. See? So you got to stop, and then you got to come back and put the shims back in, and then tighten it up, because I knew how many shims I had, so I didn't have to go back and do a full full level test on the door. But I get kind of anal, because if in this case, sometimes you strip the screws, and there's nothing worse than going back and trying to get a screw out of a door or out of a window or out of the floor that's stripped. So I always try, if I do strip it, I always try to back it out and put another one in, so we're covered. And again, that helps out with pre-drilling. So basically anything that you're putting into fresh lumber, especially thin lumber like the framework of a door, which I think is only a 1 by 4.5, it's very easy to split it. So you always want to pre-drill it. That's just my opinion and what I think everybody should do. And sometimes if you use your hip on the back of the drill, it'll give you more force and more support to push that screw into the door. And as you see, I had to keep pushing the door in because I have no locking mechanism. So it wasn't holding. But in this thing, you'll see I have a tiny gap at the bottom of the door when I come back around and give you a show. But everything's flush, everything's good except the bottom of that door. And that's not because the door is not level or the flooring wasn't level. It's because the locking mechanism is not in the door to hold it all the way in. But it turned out pretty good. And again, it's not that hard of a job to put a door in, but if it's something you got to take your time with, and don't forget, you always measure twice, cut once. So, and this is the same thing. Always use your level, whether it's a 1 foot, 2 foot, or 4 foot level. You want to just always make sure the door's level when you're sealing it and putting it in. So what I did next, and it's not in this video, is I put in a keyless entry, a Schlage keyless entry, which is a digital locking system. It's kind of a little more expensive than the basic lock, but it worked out good. And then I used a silicone bead and took it around the J channel of the door just to seal it off from the weather. And this is basically what I was explaining to everybody in this video, and probably telling you how I like long walks on the beach, holding hands with my wife, things like that. So I know this is kind of rushed through, but this was like a 30-minute video, and I hope this will help you out. And anytime in the comments, you ever have any questions, I'll try to answer them. And basically, we're finishing up, and I just want to say, everybody have a great day and a good life. And hit that like button.